Hello, Aries, to a timeless love variant reading of yours where we discuss however love may be absent or present in your life. You may just be here because you caught a vibe and seeing whether or not this storytelling time is fitting for you. Bear in mind a few details before we get into the reading that I am Master Seventh, aka Seventh, that reads these energies for you. Should you want to know who I am, what I'm all about, what I have to offer, the description box and below will have that detail for you. I am a master healer, so you can book either remote wellness and or tarot intuitive insights. You will also find several links in the description box that give you access on how to navigate this channel and how to get to my other channel. Aries' reading may offer you universal justice should you be Aries and Sun rising and or Jupiter. Should it be anywhere else, you may be in search of emotional redemption or in just general offer yourself up to see whether or not the second channel of mine, the sister energies, would, if they are beneficial for you. As always, feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific, and use your discernment to take what is yours, for this is not a one-on-one but yet a collective reading. All right, Ace of Wands and the Hanged Man, Aries. I think you're a bit stuck with what could be the driving force of you. I think there is a struggle with trusting and building trust between you and your intuition. There may have been abuse of some kind that more or less caused the severance of you not being able to have a trustworthy conversation with your own intuitive self and being able to safely navigate which energies belong to you rather than the energies that are responsible to get you to feel. And I think there is an existential issue within that is deeper than them every day. It's like you have everything pretty much under control and under wraps. Life would maybe even be golden for the onlookers and those immediately involved in your life. You don't really have much to complain about. You just feel. And I think there's a baseline, though, also tied to the fact that you might just be here listening to these messages, that you don't know what the battle within truly could be to get a closer look. And while some of you ignore the issue, some of you need assistance to find the focus. So obviously that's split between two, right? I think there's a challenging dialogue happening or the challenge is forming a dialogue and being able to classify words and feelings, yet also give yourself permission to mature, that you don't have to stay rooted in labels. They are more or less resources, and some people may think it's fickle, but I've been around Aries energy growing up, and a lot of them are almost to the idea of fake it till you make it kind of attitude. That's the hunger, force, and the drive and the will of nothing can stop me. I think that attitude has sometimes come in the way of personalized relationships, especially emotional ones. But when it comes to where you have to show up, I mean, that's where Aries takes the lead in being a leader and being the one that usually has so much energy within their desire to work that it bleeds into the audience to be of interest and to be part of that. That's how extroverted you are. Yeah. Oh. You know, I did a reading earlier, and I wasn't satisfactory of it because I was just, I don't know, wasn't. And I began this reading thinking, it would be funny if I felt the same energy going into, which is all about the Hermit energy, the Virgo energy, and all the energies that I talked about, blah, 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 blah. Left it behind. Here we are now. And here we are back again with 7 Swords and Hermit energy. Y'all, if you have been here on my channel at all, you may have come across my hatred of the 7 of Swords energy. And how much y'all have been haunted with the Virgo energy. If you don't believe me, go in the category of Aries and find out for yourself how Virgo has been haunting y'all. And if a person doesn't fit in the narrative of being a Virgo, then you're struggling with your intuition. And you've been deceiving yourself this whole entire time. The other card that fell was the Fool. We'll get to that one in a second. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be the rendezvous of the first saga that I said, like, in that recording. But the battleground is between you and intuition. There's a split dialogue of either a person responsible being a bully of a Virgo and being responsible for inundating the disconnect. This Virgo bully is responsible for severing the tie of you and your intuition. And then there's a Virgo somewhere at the same time where it's like the angel. Like I see someone like, yeah, I have those 2 type of Virgos in my life. Like, this becomes silly of a conversation when we just keep it mundane and talk about zodiacs, by the way. Okay, as a master healer, I'm totally above the narrative of, I don't read astrological charts and stuff like that. Houses is not a concern to me, that kind of thing. Moon cycles, in and out the window, gotta go kind of thing. Like, but for those of you who are beginning that interest of a dialogue, it's making you get to think about your inner self and beginning that conversation and doing it quietly, like the Hangman suggests. You're doing it on your own. You've understood how to show up where you've achieved things on your own, athletically, academically, career-wise. Like, there's a level of you showing up, doing it on your own, that you understand you doing things on your own will get things done. You understanding things on your own will allow you to feel grounded and bring reassurance to yourself. Also, whether or not you need to let go parts of yourself, which is harder for you to do, but it's for everyone. And, or rather, shifting into something different so that way you can beat the masses. Like, that's how some of you are really intellectual in understanding something first and arriving to it first, showing up to it first, and battling out whatever needs to be done in order to reap those rewards. Now, if that sounds like something that really is charming for the ego to hear, of like, yeah, head nod, then we're still trying to figure out why we're here, though, right? Maybe. You tell me. You tell me, 7th? Well, listener, this is not a one-on-one. However, it is a one-on-one between you and intuition. And intuition is all about, more or less, not being right and not being wrong. There's no such thing as good intuition. There's no such thing as bad intuition. There's no such thing as labeling intuition. And we sure as hell don't have to prove that it exists. That's how ambiguous intuition is. Ask any fertile woman. You heard correctly. Because there is intuitive process of like things that make sense happening, things that don't make sense happening, and you kind of just go with the flow. You don't know how to you don't know how to explain it. And then there's some things that are hashtag fact, and then there's some things that are hashtag fiction, and then there's some things that are hashtag truth is stranger than fiction. So living in all those realities all at once is hard to juggle with. So more often than not, Aries has an attitude, all right, that's what I choose, that's what I'll show up to, that's all I can handle, I'm minding my own business. And that's pretty much the attitude that has gotten you the gratuitous aspect of you. Yet then there's also a version of you that's here, that wants to admit a fault line, whether that's yours or belongs to someone else. That's where the throat chakra starts getting tingly, because I think both are at fault. One with the trigger and the one with the denial. And whoever's shoes it fits on the most, I don't know. All right, the Fool. That is your energy in regards to traditional tarot and looking at how the zodiacs apply to the emotional intelligence that the story has to say for itself. That you are the beginner, you are the one that's the starter, the one that's diligent, the one that begins the journey of who knows what. That's where the adventure begins. That's where the mystery starts, where some adventures end as well, and some mysteries end, because you're in the flow of, and in the flow of sometimes requires a certain nudge that you give yourself already permission to, and that's why the Fool belongs to the zodiac of Aries, more so maybe than any other sign. But I think, what comes to mind now that I'm listening and sharing this is that they're also telling me Libra is very in charge of that as well. Because if we understand how the story of traditional tarot has gotten changed over echelons of time, it's between the Strength card and Justice. And Libra is in charge of the Justice card. Now, what plays the role of Justice? Who has the power to rule justice is almost as naive of a power going into and out of a situation. It's interesting that comes up like that. As we all go, I think, was I maybe not as mad at the Seven of Swords as usual? Maybe. But I'm also a bit congested at this time, so maybe that's what's gotten me a little bit chill. All right, here. Oh, nothing chill about here though. We have the Two of Wands with the Five of Wands energy. Okay, again, very similar energies to the reading previously. Yeah, there's a lot of it's an intuitive battle between you and the matter of what is all connected. Like, honestly, it's intuitive battle. Some of you are trying to maintain certain relationships in hopes that they can teach you what it means to be softer and more emotional available. But at the same time, I feel like this person is emotionally also unavailable. So it's like you're getting notes and lessons from an illegitimate source. Interesting. I'm sensing like immaturity, but let's see here. We have the Ace of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles, Magician, and Two of Pentacles, which wouldn't say immaturity. Besides hinting that a person struggles a person may juggle their emotional availability, but they get away with it because they're charming and they're beautiful and they're attractive. So someone might be just in it for the physical rather than the emotional. At the same time, it's something that Aries has manifested for themselves, whether it's the viewpoint that if you're the person that is emotionally unavailable but you get away with it, or if you're the one that's attracted to someone because of the aesthetic beauty. I think for someone to make sense of these energies, whether they are of sustainability, is to question if new things have been able to manifest within your life due to this connection, or are old habits, old people returning over and over again, because then that could tell you whether or not it is of chaos or of sustainability. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, looking at your relationships from a better point of view by building an intuitive relationship with yourself. You have to. If you want to know what that plays a role with love and how that shapes or adds anything, you have to just kind of take this reading for the value of however it can have a meaning for you, like the Hangman earlier, and allow yourself to be in that space of mysticism. And then these colors here can help you bring high vibrational color to those burdened thoughts. Let's put it that way. So we have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So we have like an indigo color. And then we have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Then we almost have like a kiwi green color. It is more so on the green side than like anything. It's not yellow, it's green. Yellow-green, I guess. Okay? All right. I'll leave it there. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.